Good afternoon, guys. This is Working, bringing you a quick update on Bitcoin. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. We're looking at Bitcoin to the US dollar 4-hour chart on Coinbase. And last time we spoke, guys, price was sitting up in about 7400 to 7500, somewhere thereabouts. It was moving sideways, creating structure. Let me just zoom in here so you can see a little better, guys. And as I told you on the last update, we were seeing a lot of mixed signals, guys. I said we were seeing some divergence, both bearish and bullish. We could see price creating in either direction. We saw this wedge. We saw the formation forming. It looked like price was going to break out at any moment, and price did end up breaking down. I said if price broke down, guys, there was one of two scenarios. Scenario one for the bulls, price was going to end up breaking down, create a double bottom. At this 7200 zone of this structure here, double bottom, and then end up impulsing back up. The fact that price broke down, guys, and did not even acknowledge this 7200 double bottom, it just fell right through it, is extremely bearish, guys. We came right through. Next zone we were looking at is the 50 fib, 50 based off of the swing low, swing high of this entire structure. It went right through the 50, didn't even acknowledge it either. Finally found a little bit of support sitting right in here at about, well, actually it ended up coming down, bouncing off the top of this support zone between 6870 and 6750. I've been warning you guys about this zone for well over a week now. Remember, this was the neckline, or this was part of the support of the neckline of this inverse head and shoulders, guys. And this really is the bull's last stand. Price came down, hit the top of this support zone. I think the lowest it got was 6878, 68775, something like that, 6870, somewhere in that neighborhood. Came up, and now is moving sideways, creating structure before it begins its next move, guys. And this really is the last stand for the bulls. You can see this is, as I've told you many times, the 618 fib level, which is also coincides with the neckline of this inverse head and shoulders. We know oftentimes on a head and shoulders or inverse head and shoulders, price often comes down and likes to retest the neckline, or up, depending on which way you're looking. So that happens very often. We can see that's happening now. Price is coming down. If price does break below the 618 fib, guys, that's going to be very bearish. And at that point, 6,000 becomes very probable if that ends up happening. However, if the bulls can defend this zone, if we move sideways, create structure, come back down, and keep in mind, guys, that'll be very bullish if they can defend this zone, obviously. But we haven't tested the 618 fib yet. The 618, depending on which exchange you're on, the 618 fib is sitting somewhere between about 6780 and, or excuse me, about 6780 and 6880. It's somewhere in that neighborhood, which is why I've given you this wide zone. But we really haven't tested the 618 fib level at all. We've been about $70 shy of it, or somewhere thereabouts. So if we do come down, get a nice bounce off that fib, or even if we come inside the 618 fib, remember, a lot of people are having their stop losses listed right below the 618 fib level, expecting if that breaks down, it's going to completely drop. A lot of them don't even acknowledge the golden pocket between the 618 and the 65, guys. So we could see it break the 618 fib just by a wick, come down, hit the golden pocket, and then impulse back up. So I will not consider that a break as long as it's just as long as it's only by a wick. But if we do decisively break through, we drop below the 618 fib, drop below 6750. At that point, the next support zone is 6600 to 6500. There is some structure in that zone. There has been a lot of trading. That is a decent buy zone, or a decent zone where many orders have had in the past. I wouldn't be surprised for there to be some unfilled orders sitting down there as well, even though price went through. We know that in the past that's acted as support, and probably more than likely will again. However, it doesn't look like, if that does happen, guys, the bears are going to start to take full control of the market. I don't expect that to hold for very long. I do expect if this 6750 does decisively break down, may come in, find some support at 6500, but only briefly, and more than likely will continue to drop, coming down to at least 6,000. 6,000 is a good psychological number. However, more than likely it's going to come down and test this 5880 to 5780, which is our demand zone from this prior structure. And I do expect that zone to hold at least for now. If that does break, then we're more than likely going to come down to 5,000, but we're nowhere near there yet, guys. So we're going to be looking for a bounce at the 618 fib level. if and when it does decide to test that after it moves sideways here. Once it decides which direction it's going to go, guys, which I'm seeing no indication as of right now which direction it's going to go. We're getting no divergence on our indicators at all. We can see our stock RSI on the 4-hour is sitting just right around 37 thereabouts. We can see the hourly, or excuse me, the 4-hour RSI is sitting just at oversold, right around, it's currently sitting right around 28, somewhere thereabouts. Just oversold, looking extremely bearish, kind of meandering, moving sideways. We can also see if I blow it up here, it's created, excuse me, guys. It's tapped the bottom here almost 4 times. So if it does come down and test this once again, guys, creating a new low each time. So if it does come test this once again, guys, it may just kind of end up crashing down. Well, we'll just have to wait and see how that ends up playing down, guys. But right now, the RSI obviously looking extremely bearish. Looking at our 4-hour MACD kind of moving sideways. Also, the histogram kind of seems to be trending up, guys, but nothing real solid at the moment at all. If we come out here to the daily, looking at our daily stock, it's very oversold, moving sideways, has been for some time. RSI is kind of moving sideways, sitting at about 39, looking extremely bearish, slow dribble down. 4-hour MACD also, again, looking very bearish, trending down, showing no signs of reversing course, guys. So all things considered, things right now looking extremely bearish, waiting for price to come down. This is on the daily, price to come down and test the 618 fib level, guys. And in my opinion, the most bullish scenario would be price to come down, test the 618 fib level, and then immediately impulse right back up. That if that doesn't happen, guys, I'm going to be extremely hesitant to believe that that the bulls are going to be able to pull this off. So let's wait and test the 618 fib and see how it ends up reacting. Looking at our moving averages, we can see the 50-day moving averages price is sitting right on top of it. It's acting as support. If that is able to hold, that'll be a very bullish sign. If that does break down, guys, that obviously be extremely bearish. And more than likely, if that does break down, we're going to come down and test at least 6,500. We can see this is again on the daily. We can see that the price had bounced, didn't even quite make the lower Bollinger Band. The Bollinger Band is sitting right there to act as support. So again, indicating once again it may come down, hit the 618 fib, and then impulse back up. That's the most bullish scenario. We'll have to wait and see if that ends up playing out. From a bearish point of view, guys, you've got to remember this market has a lot of structure. From a bearish point of view, we can look at this rather than the market reversing course here, we can look at this as 5 waves down, followed by a perfect ABC correction, followed by what is starting out as our impulse wave down. So this is a bearish scenario, so we could be looking at, if this is in fact accurate, we could be looking at something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So even if we get a short-term rise, this could just be wave 4 of 5 waves down. So we're going to be extremely. I'm not going long at all until we break. Excuse me, guys. I'm not going long at all until we break at least this prior low here of 7,800. At that point, I'll believe that the bears or the bulls are starting to gain control again. Until we break 7,800, guys, I'm going to remain fairly skeptical that we are going to turn this thing around. So, guys, you just got to remember. I know a lot of people, they want to view this as, let me get rid of this, and as you should, you want to view this as 5 waves up. So looking at something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's very valid, and now we'd be in our ABC, which again is very valid. That's a very possible count. ABC, we could be looking at A, B, and C. With an impulse back up. It's absolutely possible, could happen. We're just gonna have to wait and see how this ends up playing out, guys. For now, we're sitting at the 618 fib, and we're gonna have to wait and see how that ends up playing out. And that I guarantee algos are sitting there waiting to see how this plays out as well. If that 618 fib breaks, I'll just draw it out for you here. If this 618 fib level breaks, guys, and goes low, I guarantee algos are going to start picking targets somewhere around 6,000 at least to begin with. If we get a strong bounce off this 618, algos are going to continue to pick targets to the upside, at least in the short term. And of course, the all-important thing that we're looking to take out, guys, is this prior high of 8,500. Remember, from a bear scenario, guys, this bounce, was a perfect. Sorry about that. There we go. Go swing high, swing low. This bounce was a perfect bounce right off of the 618 fib level. The body hit perfectly off the 618 fib, wicked into the 65 fib, the golden pocket, and bounced perfectly to start our impulse waves down, if that is in fact how this ends up playing out. So we got a lot of structure from a bearish point of view, and from a bullish point of view, guys, we're at the all-important 618 fib, hoping for that bounce right in this zone between right around 6,800, give or take $50 to $70, depending on your exchange, guys. We really are at a critical point in the market. As far as trade setups, guys, I'm playing nothing at the moment at all. If price does break below 6,750, I think even then, I think it'll be a quick catch here at 6,500. If it breaks 6,500, I will play a quick trade from 6.5. I will short quickly from 6.5 to 6.3, expecting a possible catch right there at the 6.3 zone. We do have a little bit of support, a little bit of market structure right in this zone here. It's kind of a little demand zone between 62 and 6,000. So, you know, that could find some support. I think a very solid trade, though, would be if it does break below 6,500 to come down and target at least, you know, a couple percentage points, a few percentage points, targeting it down to 63. From a bullish point of view, if you wanted to stack buy orders in here, and I'm not going to because I don't like how this is looking, guys, but if you wanted to stack buy orders here between 6,850 and 6,750, just kind of slowly ladder into it, expecting a bounce, you know, that would make sense. I would just have your stops extremely tight, possibly at 6,650, at 6,650, somewhere thereabouts, guys, because you know a lot of people, the market makers are going to go looking for stop hunts. So if this thing is going to turn bullish, you know, they're going to bring it all the way down to where most people will set their stop losses will be right below the 618 fib. So most people have their stop losses sitting probably right around 6,750, somewhere thereabouts. So they might break it right down to 6,700 and then impulse right back up, guys. So I'd have my stops, if you are going to go long, I'd have my stops sitting right around 6,650, 6,670, somewhere thereabouts, because if they go stop hunting and then immediately turn it around, you don't want to get caught in that. However, just know that that is a very risky trade. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it there. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please let me know in the comments section below. And until next time, guys, please trade safe. This is Working, signing out.